Order at 12:02 p.m. Please keep in mind that these meetings may be audio or visually recorded. Will any members present please state their name for the record?
Jacob Eisenberg.
Yoel Katz.
Austin Brown.
Berkeley Hines. Abigail
Matthew Bravo is chair, and seeing as there are 5 members present, quorum, 6 members, excuse me. No. Is my math wrong? All right. 6, jeez. Quorum has been established. Will any members of the public please state their name for the record?
Tyler Sklar.
Andrew Larson.
Akash Badger.
All right, so we now move into consideration of SSB 2025-1123. Because there's no author or sponsor present, we move directly into debate, but take some time to read through it. Is there any debate on the bill? Do we still need further time reading it? I mean, we still have quite a few minutes, so. Oh, actually, can somebody do the timer?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any further debate? Alright, seeing none, we now move into motions. Do I hear any motions at this time?
Move to pass SSB 2025-1123 by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to pass SSB 2025-1123 by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Alright, hearing none, the motion passes. SSB 2025-1124 was withdrawn by the author, so we now move into consideration of SSB 2025-1125. Seeing as I'm the author, its presentation. Okay, so I do want to use some of my presentation time to update the bill, or just say, I guess, what updates I would hope we can make in the amendments. So I want to delete pretty much everything in below 7390, and then about half of, or a part of, I should say, the last part of 739.0. So it does pretty drastically alter the bill. The main point of this, and the term resigned to run isn't really, I don't think, as indicative of what I want out of the bill. It's more stating that people can't be a candidate for more than one elected office at once, whether that be legislative or executive. And when you declare yourself as a candidate, you are automatically resigned from the office you will currently hold upon validation of the election results in a general election in which you're running in. So let's say you're a senator, you decide to run for, let's say, student body treasurer, right? Once you declare yourself as a candidate, you are not automatically resigned then. You are resigned after the campaign period and then after the validation of the election results at typically what is a double Senate meeting. So you'll have about 6 weeks to still be in Senate. You would then, regardless of win or loss, resign that seat, and then, but you would still have the opportunity, even after you would know whether you've won or lost because of the vote tabulations, you'd still have time to pass legislation in Senate that still gives you the chance to finish out what is essentially a full semester's worth of work. So that's kind of the point of some of the changes. And then I did not really think that there should be a written resignation process. I think that's just adding another hurdle for people during what is already a busy election season with already many things that individuals and parties have to go through in terms of qualifying or in terms of having to get access to the ballot through, so I didn't want there to be any other hurdle or burden, so I just made it an automatic resignation upon the validation of the election results. So, I guess in my presentation time, how much time do I have left?
Another 2:15.
Another 2 minutes. I will just turn my computer around and make the font really big so that you can see kind of what I want the new bill to look like. Or actually I can just pass it around, that might be easier too. Okay, I'm back. There you go. Yeah, so that's the new version as opposed to the old version.
That Mac is huge.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I can't really read on or type on small computers.
I prefer small computers.
Yeah, sort of textbook. Kind of one other thing I'd like to note is there was an older version of this legislation many years ago. I believe there have been a couple versions of it. One of the main problems I had with the older versions is that you had to resign immediately upon declaring your candidacy for it, whereas I think this way you should be allowed to stay in whatever elected office you had been in for at least another 4, 5, 6 weeks in order to get work done and continue to serve in that office. You shouldn't have to resign it until the results are validated. So that's kind of a big difference in the new one. And I yield the rest of my time. Thanks for listening. All right, we now move into question and answer. 5 minutes question and answer, I should say. Are there any questions?
I have a clarification question.
Sure.
I just wanted to ask, so like this, what it prevents is, let's say that there's someone in Senate already who wants to run for on the executive ticket, but they also want to run for a Senate office at the same time.
Yeah,
this prevents that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think the implications are?
Of this bill? I mean, one of the main things I think it does is it's going to make sure people can't hedge their bets as much. I don't really believe that you should be able to just kind of latch on to 2 different positions just out of your own self-necessity or need for jobs. I think that it's going to be a lot better with the fact that we're not going to have people using one elected office as a backup option. That's really, I think, the main implication of it. It'll deter that from happening. So, any further questions at this time? All right. Now moving to 5 minutes of debate. Do I hear any debate?
Yeah, I think this is a really strong bill and a really great idea. I think that these positions are exclusionary for a reason. They take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and by putting your name on the ballot, you are committing all of your time and effort into that position, and it is something that you should stick with. Again, exclusionary positions are exclusionary for a reason.
Yeah, just building off of that, I feel like this really helps prevent people from having backup plans, because when you get to this point, you should be fully committing your time and energy towards either one or the other. Just trying to go 50-50 is going to make you a worse senator or a worse member of the executive ticket.
I think it arguably also just clarifies campaign messaging. I think at the end of the day, if you're running strictly for one office instead of 2, it doesn't become, this is my platform for SPP, this is my platform for senator, this is my platform for this, for that. And it forces campaigns to utilize the resources to the best extent in a more focused extent, to which I think this is a great bill.
I'm gonna be honest, that was something I didn't even think of, but yeah, that definitely will help during the election. All right, any further debate? All right, we now move into final privilege. I guess the only thing I can say is during the motions, I'll read out an amendment, and I guess I have to read out every single word of it, so apologies if it's a really long amendment, but I waive. All right, we now move into motions. I hear any motions at this time? Alright, do I hear a motion to strike clauses 7391, 7392, 393, 394, and 395 from SSB 2025 1125?
So moved.
Alright, that motion has been moved. Do I hear any objections at this time? Alright, sorry, I should have said, that motion is by unanimous consent. Do I hear any objections at this time? Seeing none? Okay. Okay, now, do I hear a motion to add a new section to the bill, or to SSB 2025 1125? That would be section 7391 with the language that states, candidates for legislative and executive office will be automatically resigned from the office they currently hold upon validation of the election results for the general election in which the candidate in question is running in, by unanimous consent.
So moved.
Alright. Do I hear any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Okay, and then do I hear a motion in SSB 2025 1125 to strike from in 739.0 to strike from the word without all the way until the word hold at the end of that section by unanimous consent?
So moved.
Alright, do I hear any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Okay, now, I know that was a bit of stuff. Alright, let's see if let me know if it's caught up on all y'all's ends.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Do I hear any other motions at this time?
I move to pass SSB 2025 1125 by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to pass SSB 2025 1125 by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. Alright, and seeing as all business on the docket has been completed, I adjourn this meeting at 12:15 p.m.